Welcome
Okay.
to Conversations Live. For more than a decade, we've brought you the best in books, entertainment, celebrity interviews, and current events. When the movers and shakers of the world have something to say to you, they say it to us first. Now celebrating 17 years of broadcasting success, here's your host, Cyrus Webb.
And welcome back, everyone, to Conversations Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again, both for our radio audience in the South and our online audience tuning in, thanks to WYAD 94.1 FM. We're glad you all could be with us as well. We're really excited to welcome back to our program today Michael Moore. And for anyone who's ever gone through any challenges or difficulties, I think Michael's story will definitely encourage you and inspire you as you're kind of dealing with your own life journey. We're going to talk to Michael not only about what he's been able to go through medically and physically, but also about how he's been able to keep a good attitude and also what he's looking forward to moving forward. Michael, welcome back to the program.
Hello, how you doing there?
Hey, doing really well, man. Glad to have you back on with us. And like I said, you are a great example of someone who has been through a lot, but definitely you have not given up. Michael, I want to talk about that. I mean, because you have dealt with a lot in your life, and especially when we're talking about physically. How are you feeling today, first of all? How are you now going into the new year?
I'm blessed. I'm feeling a lot better since the first time we talked. I'm feeling good there. Feeling good.
So take our audience back, Michael, for those who may have missed our first interview. I mean, tell them a little bit about what you went through and kind of, how it affected you and what you were able to get done.
Well, what I was dealing with, I was dealing with a lot of headaches, and finally I was going to a regular doctor, and they was just diagnosing me with migraines or whatever. So finally, I was referred to a neurologist, and they ended up doing an MRI, and I was ended up being diagnosed with a rare neurological disorder, which is called Chiari malformation. And on top of that, I also was diagnosed with syringomyelia. So the Chiari malformation is where the brain actually falls out of the skull and presses on the spinal cord, and the syringomyelia is where it can cause a cyst to develop on the spinal cord also.
Wow.
So what ended up happening, I ended up having what they call I ended up having brain surgery, which is I had a Chiari decompression where they end up creating more space for my brain and relieving the pressure on my spinal cord. And the surgery ended up being a success. So I'm blessed, and it freed up a lot of my headaches. I still have some headaches now, but they're not. They're far and few now. So that's great on that part there.
Right. So let's go back a little bit then, Michael. You mentioned the headaches. That's how it kind of began for you. Before that point, had you been getting regular checkups?
Well, I had been. Yes, I have been getting. Yes, I have been pretty much getting regular checkups, but it's like the problem still just being sugarcoated because it was just saying that I was just having migraines. So I was just getting medicine, and it would help with headache, but I wasn't getting to the source of the problem. So when I finally got referred to a neurologist, that's when I got the proper diagnosis. So that's what was important. It all boiled down to getting the proper diagnosis and getting referred to the proper doctor.
So, I mean, what was it like when you first heard the diagnosis, Michael? I mean, what was going through your mind when they first told you what was wrong?
Well, it blew my mind due to the fact that I had been dealing with this. This has been my problem my entire life. And I had been going to doctors, and they couldn't find the problem. So it's like I had been dealing with this all my life, and I go to this one doctor, and hey, they do this MRI, and they see this, and say, this is your problem here. So, of course, it was just it was just I was overwhelmed with it, and
right.
I was like, what's next? What we need to do to get this taken care of, so I can have a better quality of life.
Right. So I think, when anyone who's listening to your story, Michael, and we appreciate you coming back on to share it, they could be looking at themselves and what they went through. Did you ever go through that time of why me or why was I going through this?
Yes, I did, but I looked at the positive side of it is that I guess it's something I just had to deal with, and I was more of trying to get the problem solved, and hey, maybe I can help somebody else out with this. And that's how I looked at the problem. I say, hey, let's get this fixed, or let's work on trying to get this fixed.
Right.
Now, let me tell you, I had the surgery, but I ran into some issues with the surgery that, believe it or not, it was a 3 to 4 hour surgery procedure, but my blood pressure went up due to the trauma, I guess, from the cuts in the surgery, and the surgery ended up being 7 to 8 hours. And so they had to deal with getting my blood pressure down. That was unexpected. So I was in surgery like 8 hours, and so that was something that we ran into. So they didn't get the cyst off of my spine, but they did get to perform the decompression, which that was the main goal.
Right.
And so that was successful there.
So let's talk a little bit more about that. So you had the surgery, so you were able to get some relief here. Now, if you outside of the headaches that you mentioned, Michael, prior to you going to the specialist, had there been any other signs that something may have been going on?
Well, I tell you, as of now, it's a lot more things, a lot more symptoms that fell into place. I used to get dizzy a lot, and this was brought on from the Chiari. Also, I have problems, difficulty sleeping. I have insomnia, so that's a part of Chiari also. That's what I deal with now. I have some blurred vision. That had been coming on. I had been to doctors and all for that. That's a part of Chiari. So I have found out a lot that was brought on from Chiari that everything just falling into place. And so a lot of questions been answered. And, I'm constantly pressing on through it. I'm constantly learning. And I'm just constantly trying to get information out to everybody that, hey, you might just need to get this checked when you're dealing with headaches.
Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Well, I think, I think for our audience out there, the reason why I wanted to ask you those questions, Michael, because, again, for that very reason, if they find themselves dealing with, repeated headaches or feelings, feeling some type of things, and make sure that they are getting checked. But also I wanted to ask you about the doctor's appointment because, of course, that is always an issue, especially with us guys, right? We don't like to go to the doctor, so making sure that we are getting those regular appointments. Now, of course, outside of everything else that you were dealing with since the last time you were on with us, Michael, also we had COVID. We do know that, of course, those who do have, pre-existing conditions, are definitely more at risk when it comes to the coronavirus. Have you found yourself having to take extra precautions since last year to make sure you're taking care of yourself and staying safe?
Yes, I have to because this is kind of almost an underlying condition. Mm-hmm. So I really have to because I'm dealing with the neurological, and it's something that I have to deal with for the rest of my life. Since it's no cure for the Chiari. So I do have to be cautious and protect myself, and so it's a lot. I have to be extra careful. So it's another something I have to deal with. So
Right. And it's just, again, another reminder of, being able to take these things seriously. I want to say for those who are just tuning in, either on the radio side or online, you're listening to Conversations Live. Excited to welcome back Michael Moore to our program. We're talking to Michael not only about how he's been able to find some relief in dealing with some of the health issues he's been having, but also, of course, the message he has for all of you. Now, Michael, you wanted to come back on the program to talk to our audience. What is it you've been sharing with people who know you in particular about the importance of, one, being aware of these conditions, but also making sure they are taking care of themselves and their health?
Well, the biggest thing I would say is preventive maintenance. We have to do preventive maintenance. When you have an issue going on with you, regardless of it's headaches or anytime you have pain that's in a part of your body, it's something that's going on. And if you go to one doctor, hey, there's nothing wrong with getting a second opinion. I find myself I think I ended up going to probably 5 or 6 different doctors before I finally got to the right doctor. I mean, it was frustrating.
Right.
And but hey, I didn't stop. I mean, so you have to do the preventive maintenance part, and just don't give up. If one doctor can't tell you, well, it's just this reason why this. No, I need an explanation to why. So we got to do our part as in doing the preventive maintenance, and that'll help stop a lot. You can catch a lot of things before it gets started. To speak on that, let me just tell you another issue I ran into. It's not dealing with the Chiari. I was having some indigestion problems, and when I ended up getting an appointment with my GI doctor, and ended up finding out that I was on a pre-stage of stomach cancer.
Oh, wow.
So I end up having had one treatment, a month treatment of meds, and we caught that in time. So hey, that's another something that was thrown at me. But hey, if I wasn't big up on preventive maintenance, trying to noticing that, I mean, hey, it would have been worse. So
right.
We got to do our part for us in the preventive maintenance. We just have to. If you got something going on with you, just don't put it off for the next day. Just please don't do that. Please don't do that.
And I think too, we can't take for granted there's going to be the next day.
That's right, or the next second.
Right. And I think that is the big thing. So, Michael, I want to ask you about this, about not giving in to the fear, because I'm sure they talked to you before the surgery, letting you know what could happen. Unfortunately, not all surgeries are successful. Not all outcomes are positive. How did you not allow the fear to stop you from doing what you need to do when it comes to the surgery, but also, taking the steps you need to take to make sure that you're still here?
Well, first of all, I did the research. Then I watched the surgery about 3 times, and then I asked my wife to watch the surgery with me. She watched it once. I prayed about it, and it's what I needed to do, because if I didn't have the surgery, my condition was going to just get worse. I could have been facing paralyzation, because the more my brain would have been pressing on my spinal cord, it was just going to get worse. So, the surgery was very successful. This doctor had an 84% successful rate. So hey, everything was on the positive side when I rated the pros and cons. So, and I just tackled it and just went head on with it. So I looked at the pros versus the cons, and hey, I just went on with it and knew what I had to get done.
Yeah. I think that's it. And, for our audience out there, Michael, that are dealing with different situations, maybe they don't see the way out. Maybe they're not right now in the best headspace. What advice would you give to them about the situations they're facing?
My advice, I would say, is you got to look at it if it's going to benefit you. I mean, and you got to look at your pros versus the cons. And once you make your decision, stand behind your decision and just go with it. And don't second guess yourself. Have your good support,
right?
Good family support, and pray about it. And think positive. Hey, you know it's going to work out for the best, and hey, and it will. It will. And just remain positive. That's my biggest thing I could tell you is don't think about the what ifs and this and that. Just remain positive. It's going to be positive, and it will work out.
It's great advice for all of us to keep in mind no matter what challenge we're faced. Again, everyone, Mike Moore has been our guest. We've been talking to Mike not only about what it's been like for him to overcome physical challenges, but also keeping the right attitude along the way. Mike, really appreciate you stopping back by with us. How can our audience stay connected with you?
Well, I am. I'm gonna tell you a few things I got going on.
Okay.
Since I had the surgery, I became a golden ambassador with Disease Map, and that is a website where people with any disease can find and contact many other people that suffer with the same disease. So I got involved with that. You can go to Disease Maps and you can type my name in, and you can talk with me about questions about Chiari malformation. You can talk with other people about Chiari malformation. So it's a network so you won't be alone. It's a support group. And for any diseases, whatever you're dealing with. So it's a support group. Also, I'm still working on my foundation, my 501(c), which is called 111 Chiari. At the present time, I'm still working on my team of my board members, and which mostly will consist of Chiari patients. Mm-hmm. And I'm still in the works of that. Due to the COVID, that slowed me down. I thought it would have already been up and running.
Right.
My main goals is what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to improve the health and literacy on Chiari malformation and Sarcogomelalia. It's by four things what I'm trying to do. One, I'm trying to improve it by sharing and distributing plain language material among everyone in health professionals. Two is by working with the media, as I'm working with you on the air. Three is by developing a new method of information dissemination, which means by broadcasting a message to the public without a direct feedback from the audience. And then four is by me collecting data from interviewing Chiari patients to help make the Chiari malformation database more accurate than what it is now.
Okay.
Those are my goals. And I have done a lot of research since. I got a lot done since I had the surgery. And I'm just getting everything into place. And hopefully I'll be up and running with my foundation. I will be before the end of this year. Hopefully this COVID will we'll get this COVID on in so I can get out and contact a lot more people. But due to COVID, I can't contact many people now. So that's slowing the progress and everything there.
Right. Definitely invite our audience to be able to see how they can work with you, Michael, to be able to help spread the information, to make people more aware. Again, everyone, Michael Moore has been our guest. Michael, always a pleasure speaking with you, and looking forward to having you back on the program again.
I will. Definitely. No sooner I get my 111 Chiari Foundation up and going, I would love to come back on so I can relate more information and everything for us with dates I will be out passing out information and everything, and where I, just events I'll be having going on, and fundraisers and all that. I definitely will.
Yeah. All right. Well, looking forward to that, Michael, for sure. And we thank you, our audience, for tuning in to another great segment of Conversations Live. Until next time, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying, as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Live today, and let's go make today amazing. Take care.